Hey.
What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? Hey, this is Evan Layton with HTown Happy Hour.
Derek Diaz-Levy, HTown Happy Hour, #1 podcast in the world.
In the world, bro. Let them know. We have two very special guests for you today in the house. We have...
Hi, I'm Kristen Stubbs. I'm the Executive Director for the Arthritis Foundation here in Houston.
Hi, I'm Miesha Gabriel. I'm a board member here and the 2022 Adult Honoree for the Arthritis Walk to Cure.
Beautiful, beautiful. Welcome. Thank y'all for coming.
Thanks for having us.
100%. So Arthritis Foundation, huh? Tell us a little bit about it. What is it?
So the Arthritis Foundation is a national foundation, and we are the one foundation that serves people who suffer from the #1 disability in America, which is arthritis. And there's over 100 different forms of arthritis, some that you probably don't even realize are arthritis. And we provide services and resources. We fund a lot of research to find a cure.
Cool. Wow. Yeah, no, I was looking on there and it was something about #1 out of like 4 of the top ones in the nation for what y'all do. You know, and you were talking about so many different types of arthritis. You know, what are some of the ones that maybe some people don't know about?
Yeah, so probably the ones that you do know about and hear most about are rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, but some of the ones that are a little bit, and juvenile arthritis, of course, is another big one. But some of the ones that are kind of not as well known, or gout. You hear people have gout. That's a form of arthritis. Wow. Fibromyalgia is a form of arthritis.
Okay.
And so, it's very prevalent. Guarantee somebody has a form of arthritis. Osteoarthritis is another big one. And that's really in your joints when there has been a traumatic injury. I myself have that. I was a runner for 30 years. I've had 5 knee surgeries, and I've got arthritis in both of my knees.
I've had 5 knee surgeries as well. I've had
comrade in arms.
ACL reconstructive surgery 5 times.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I'm gonna have arthritis.
Yes, you probably do. You just don't know it.
So let me ask you some of this. With arthritis, what are some of the struggles that people may go into?
Yeah, not only can it cause joint pain, but rheumatoid arthritis, people don't realize sometimes one of the symptoms that it causes is also fatigue.
Okay.
So rheumatoid arthritis is something that I personally suffer from. So it can be a challenge just for your daily activities, just, getting up and functioning on a daily basis. If you're tired and fatigued, sometimes, you just kind of have to push through it. So, like me, I personally am an educator, so which I love to do. But, sometimes it's a challenge just to make things happen on a daily basis when you're, tired and fatigued.
Now, are you walking around writing on a chalkboard, or are y'all more like on the technological role
For
now?
me, I'm more on the technological role, thank goodness. So that kind of helps a lot.
Perfect.
So,
Perfect.
Absolutely.
When you say you provide services, kind of dive into that. What do you mean provide services?
Yeah, so one, like I mentioned, we fund research, and over the last year, in 2020, we funded over $11 million of research.
Wow.
Yeah, which brought our total of over $500 million of research into arthritis and rheumatic diseases.
Moly.
Yeah, it's great. And then we also have a really robust support group online community called the Live Yes Network. People with arthritis can go online, access all of our services. We have a 24/7 helpline that is also now, we have Spanish operators as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so people can call with any kinds of questions they have, whether it's a question about our website or a question about some of the symptoms they're having, or if they need some doctor referrals in their area.
What about just like talking about like sort of struggles that they have as well, like just
Absolutely.
an outlet for someone to listen to?
Yeah. So we've got through that helpline, there's also peer-to-peer support.
Nice.
So somebody can call in and say, "Hey, I'm really struggling with this issue. Is there someone you can connect me to?" And then our helpline operators will connect them to somebody who's actually living with that particular issue, or has dealt with it before, or can help in some way. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So did this originate here in Houston?
No.
Oh, okay.
We are a national organization.
Wow.
Our headquarters are in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
And there are about 65 chapters, if you will, across the nation.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so I cover the Houston market, which is really I mean, honestly, I even cover El Paso. Don't
Wow.
ask me how, but that's in our territory.
9 hours later.
Right, yeah.
Right?
And yeah, in fact, I got an email from our help center who said, "Hey, I got a call from a lady in El Paso. She's, she needs some help and was wondering why there's not a walk there." I'm like, "Well, because it's 9 hours away. I don't have a staff person there." But so, the great thing about it is I was able to connect her with our support groups are called Connect groups.
Yeah.
So I was able to get her in touch with some Connect groups and some other resources that she could tap into in her area, or even now, because of COVID and how we've all become so remote.
Yeah.
She could tap into Connect groups in Connecticut if she wanted to.
Wow.
So it's that far
yeah.
widespread.
And with
Yeah.
our Connect
Yeah.
groups, what's been successful with our Connect groups is that with COVID, we've been able to have maybe educational things via Zoom.
Yeah.
So when someone has questions, we'll set up a Zoom session perhaps during the week or on a Saturday where we can link in people with questions.
Yeah.
And so
Because I was looking on there and I was seeing like we're also trying to do like some podcasting type stuff like on the
Yes.
main
Right.
brand, and I was
Yeah.
telling her hopefully this can get on there.
Yes, absolutely.
Hopefully this can get out there. But tell me, how do some people combat some of these things that some of these
Issues
items
they face.
like fatigue and issues that they face? What's some of the ways that
Well, fortunately, thanks to the Arthritis Foundation, the funding has led to there being some drug therapies that have been discovered that have been successful.
Wow.
Because of those drug therapies, we've made great strides in terms of just overall health of those arthritis patients. One of the stories that I tell is that arthritis is actually genetic. Rheumatoid arthritis can be genetic, and my grandmother suffered from arthritis. And I always used to think of arthritis as kind of an old person disease,
Right.
But I was actually diagnosed 10 years ago at the age of 40.
Wow.
So
Okay.
knowing my grandmother had it, I kind of thought there was always a chance that I might get it. But I never thought, geez, when I started feeling these symptoms that I was 40 and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's now.
Wow.
So going back to, say my grandmother, at that time, she was, when growing up, she was 70 and didn't have access to good health care at that time. And this was kind of early on before some of these drug therapies had been discovered. So thankfully, due to some things that the Arthritis Foundation has been able to fund with some companies, the drug therapies are better. But also some of the things that we also pair with a lot of people in the in the exercise community and talk about things we can do just on a daily basis in terms of eating better and exercising.
so it's kind of almost there's foundational things that can help your overall dealing
Absolutely.
with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And not just a matter of taking medicine, but believe it or not, the more you move, the better you're going to feel. So
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So
Go for it.
no, run for it, bro.
I was gonna say, how did y'all get started in this?
Well, with Miesha, obviously she has the disease, and I guess I don't know. I'm not going to talk for you.
The thing is that, for me with, having arthritis, I had a good friend who, I knew before, I was diagnosed with arthritis. And once I was diagnosed, she brought me in and, I've always just had a passion for volunteering. And so I said, well, suffering from arthritis with it being something that was prevalent in my family was just one of those things. I'm just like, of course, I'm going to jump in and do what I can. Our goal is to ultimately find a cure for arthritis.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
that's why we do things like the Walk to Cure.
And how long has that been going on for? Because I know it's like people deal with it, and I'm sure they give medicine and like different therapies, but we haven't found it. Like, are we on the threshold of it? Are we close?
We hate to say, it's right around the corner because then it doesn't happen.
It's kind of like applying it to cancer. It's like, have we found it yet?
Exactly. We are so much close. We know so much more now than we did before.
Right.
And especially with the drug therapies, we're so much further along. And, the scientific world is working day in and day out, to find that cure. I can't give you, in 5 years we'll be there because we just don't know.
You never know.
Yeah.
But I can tell you there's a world of difference in just how I saw my grandmother dealing with pain,
Gotcha.
you know, like in the late 70s, early 80s to where we are now. So I'm just thankful that, you know, we do have these therapies in place now.
So I have, you know, the majority of women in my family all suffer from fibromyalgia, you know, and I was always like, you know, what kind of excuse is this? And I mean, but that's me as a juvenile, not knowing what's really going on. I mean, what are some of the things that y'all know about fibromyalgia?
I can speak to that because I have fibromyalgia,
Okay.
and I was actually diagnosed about 25 years ago. And at the time, I was like, I do not have that. I'm not going to give into that. Kind of the same, you know, sort of that same mentality. It's
Almost
like,
a rebellion towards
yeah,
it?
yeah. And, you know, just continued on with my life. And you know, I have a lot of fatigue, as Miesha was saying, with the rheumatoid arthritis, but a lot of fatigue. When I have a flare up, I have severe pain in my arms and my legs. And in fact, this weekend had one on Saturday morning, or actually it started like Friday night. And it's really, it's weird. It kind of goes in waves.
Yeah.
But I was again diagnosed about 5 years ago, and again said, I just don't have this. I don't have this. Except for that, in the last 5 years, I've noticed this progressively more painful periods.
Are the waves more intense?
Yeah.
That's how
And they're coming more often now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
though, that's actually kind of common. It's hard for people sometimes to face like being diagnosed with these things. I have an uncle, and he for years he'd have like, he just kind of like twitches, and he would just twitch a lot, and it probably took him 4 or 5 years to go get diagnosed, and he just refused to go check it out. He's, oh no, I'm fine, until it got to the point where like at all times he couldn't even just sit still.
Yeah.
Right.
And once he finally, you know, went and got diagnosed and everything and saw a doctor, like, it's night and day. He got, you know, he got prescriptions, and he started to educate himself on exactly everything going on. And, you know, he still has a little bit of it, but it's night and day. Like, he can actually function again and stuff.
And I think you're exactly right, because even though now I have agreed with the doctors that, you know, they're right, and I have this, I still haven't, since I saw a rheumatologist 5 years ago, I still haven't gone back to see another one, and I need to, because the pain is getting to, it's where it's really affecting my life to where I can't do things anymore. And so, but you know, I think you're exactly right. I mean, when I was first diagnosed, and actually back then it was called chronic fatigue syndrome, and that makes you sound like you're just this lazy person.
That has
you
a
know,
bad connotation
it
to it.
really does. And so I was like, I do not have that, because I am not, you know, a lazy, you know, fatigue person. But anyway.
Fatigued-ridden woman. That's not true.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that. You said your relative had it, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm not buying this. Well, that's kind of the thing with fibromyalgia and rheumatoid arthritis. Sometimes you can be walking around and people don't realize, you know, I think people think, okay, she's got arthritis. Well, you can't see it. Well, it's not always evident. You know, it's not that if you're not, you know, seeing the symptoms, the enlarged, the inflammation, enlarged joints, but sometimes you're just really tired and not feeling well. And like Kristen said, you don't want people to think, well, you know, she's just being lazy or just trying to get out of doing some work. So that could be a challenge sometimes too.
Absolutely.
You know, you just don't want people to think, oh, she just wants a sick day or something like that.
Right.
You know,
It's something that almost like floors you and keeps you in your bed type
it
thing.
can be. You can have
absolutely.
flu-like symptoms.
Absolutely.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So I
That's
mean,
why I
is
was
this
yesterday,
kind of like with some of the other people that y'all have, you know, because this Arthritis Foundation, y'all have a huge group around here, don't y'all? Is this some of the things that other people experience in this area, like these sort of testaments about like, man, it's just hard to get up and go. It's hard to stay focused through my day.
Yeah, absolutely. We hear that all the time. And the other thing that's really that we haven't really mentioned is kids get arthritis too. I mean, as Miesha said, a lot of people think, oh, arthritis is an old person's disease. Well, yeah, eventually everyone is going to have some form of arthritis. That's just the nature of the disease. But children get it as well. And in that it's juvenile arthritis. It's a form of rheumatoid arthritis.
I was taking that notes when I was asking the other kinds of arthritis, and I was noticing the juvenile.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, is it a kid going like, Mom, I can't get out of bed, I can't do this, or like, what sort of symptoms do the children have that may be different from the adults?
Really, exactly what you said. I mean, kids with, we have one of our honorees is our youth honoree for our Walk to Cure Arthritis, and her name is Jessie, and she was diagnosed at 2 years old because her knees started swelling up, and her parents dragged her from doctor to doctor to doctor, and she hurt, and she was really tired, and she's a really active little toddler, and finally, after months and months of testing, they determined that it was juvenile arthritis, and so it was put on some medication, went through remission. They thought it was great, and then it came back again. So it's a continual thing, and they don't get rid of. I mean, it goes with them the rest of the life.
It can go in remission, huh?
It can, with some medication.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
So now, is there a lot of information in this book y'all have right here, Raising a Child with Arthritis?
Yeah, and that's really a great parent guide for parents whose kids, have been diagnosed with JA. Yeah.
It says talking about protecting your child's eyes over here. Is that like do the eyes what sort of effect
I'll talk
happens?
a little bit about that as well, because not only can it affect juveniles with juvenile arthritis, but another form, we talked about there being over 100 forms of arthritis. Something you probably never heard of that I suffer from as well is called Sjogren's syndrome.
Okay.
You probably never hear the term Sjogren's syndrome, but it's a form of arthritis.
It's in this.
It's in that.
It's right there.
Yeah, it's on that flyer. Sjogren's is, if you know tennis star Venus Williams, she also suffers from Sjogren's syndrome. Wow. And it's where your glands, it's an autoimmune disease, it's where your glands are attacked. So it attacks, symptoms are dry eye and dry mouth, and you also have fatigue. Yeah. So, it can affect your vision long term. So that's kind of the thing that I struggle mostly with is vision. So.
So does it start to get blurry? Do you see double?
It's just,
dull?
if you've got the normal dry eye just from looking at the computer all day, mine is probably 100 to 200 times worse. I'm putting in eye drops all day long just to try to get it better. So, just to give you an idea.
So are there any sort of like natural remedies that are available out there? I know that there's a new wave of, anti-inflammation and things that just kind of help ease discomfort.
Yes, CBD is a real big thing right now.
How about that?
Yep. Yeah.
CBD. So now, have y'all tried that?
I have.
And?
Well, when it doesn't make me fall asleep, it works pretty well.
Right.
And the Arthritis Foundation is supporting that.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, the topical forms I have tried, and I do see. I mean, I've tried just every type of aspirin cream and all those, but I do find that the CBD topical forms.
So like CBD creams and everything.
Right? Yeah, they help me a lot too.
We had just had a CBD retailer on the podcast not too long ago, and I think it was funny y'all said that because he even mentioned he was showing his topical creams and everything, and he mentioned it's been known to help arthritis. That's incredible.
They're actually the Arthritis Foundation has been doing surveys lately just to get some some feedback from the arthritis community just in terms of how well it's working for everyone.
You gotta just take it at the end of the day.
I've learned that. I've learned that, Derek. Yeah.
I think it's a good time to introduce one of the the new partners for HTown Happy Hour.
He's actually one of our partners.
And one of our partners for HTown Happy Hour is HTown Cannabis Club, and we're working with them now. They have a shop opening up here shortly in the Heights area. And, we're working with them directly. And if y'all need anything delivered to y'all or that helps with, the CBD, the Delta 8, they have that CBD cream. They have it in gummies as well. And, y'all can reach out to HoustonCannabisClub.com, and they have same-day delivery.
They do same-day delivery.
Sure, delivery would be very beneficial for arthritis patients.
I think that's why the Houston Cannabis Club has kind of just skyrocketed in the last couple of months is because they offer same-day delivery. Exactly.
Yeah, that's great.
And, he just started his store probably like... he said about a year ago, and in the last 4 or 5 months, like it's just taken off. So and it's not all about just like the it's got this negative connotation. Oh, the high it gets you. It's about the benefits of it. It's a medicinal product.
Absolutely.
And CBD is just it's it's become very popular recently, and it's because of those medicinal properties, I feel like.
And if y'all reach out to Houston Cannabis Club, y'all can use our promo code, which is HTown Fire, and you'll receive a discount on that.
That's
nice.
A shameless plug. I like how you did
Yeah,
that.
I like that.
How you did that.
Well, I'm gonna have to call them up and see if they want to be a sponsor of our walk, because
Hey, that'd be
great
perfect.
idea.
Definitely, we should
He'll
put you
have
in contact with
Absolutely,
Joshua.
I would
and
love
his
that.
brother.
I would love that,
Yeah,
because we actually had a CBD store out at our Jingle Bell Run, which is another event we do in December, and they gave away little bitty samples, and had a lot of people stop by their booth. And
well, you know what? I'm sure they would be absolutely thrilled
We'd love
to be
that.
a part of that, and especially because y'all said y'all have a walk coming up when?
Saturday, May 14th.
Saturday, May 14th.
What is this walk? Let's talk a little bit about it.
It is our flagship event. It's the Walk to Cure Arthritis, and like Miesha said, it's May 14th at and we start at Fish Plaza, which is actually right in front of the Wortham Center.
Yeah.
And we walk around Buffalo Bayou Trail down there by the water, and
Awesome.
we have it's kid and family friendly. You can bring out your dogs. Miesha is our adult honoree, and then my dog Mallory is our canine honoree, because
that's cute.
dogs get arthritis as well.
You know, I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've actually heard that before.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think I've seen some like the older dogs. They start to like their hips don't really like work like they used to, and they kind of have like a little bit of an arch when they walk, and or just their hind legs don't work as well sometimes.
Yeah, and their joints get stiff and swollen.
So
and,
dogs are welcome at the walk.
Dogs are welcome as long as they're on a leash. Yeah, we'll have a little dog zone, and
Well, what I like to ask about the question about dogs on the leash is who's really on the leash? Whenever you're holding a dog, who's really on the leash? Am I on the leash, or is that guy on the leash? You know,
Who's really the boss here? I
You
clean
are
up
so
your
right.
room and I feed you.
And you walk ahead of me.
Yeah.
they're pulling on you.
Actually, it's a buddy of mine taught me this. You should always exit the door before your dog to show them like who's actually in command.
Yeah.
He taught me that actually.
That's good to know.
You did. I did.
And the thing about it is because like in the home, this is y'all's home too. All right, y'all can enjoy here, lay down, relax. But as soon as we go outside, if I'm walking out without a leash, sit.
Yeah.
Come on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's stay down. Y'all in my world now. Quit playing with me. Don't make me look foolish, and I'll let you off without a leash.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's good advice. We just got an 8-week-old puppy. So we've had her 4 days, and she's wearing me out already.
They can be a lot of energy.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Do y'all foster it, or is it just?
No, we
Okay.
we got her from a breeder.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
What are some of the signs when like for people to look out for? If they could possibly have arthritis.
I'll tell you, for me, like I said, I kind of eventually thought I'd get arthritis, but it hit me as a surprise.
Yeah.
Some of the things with rheumatoid arthritis is, you'll have that fatigue feeling. It feels like you have flu, really.
Wow.
But you'll see swelling in your joints. And believe it or not, the first place you'll see it is in your fingers. Because it's, the fingers are the smallest joints in your body. So if you've got some hand swelling, I at first just thought it was just maybe just some swelling. Maybe it was blood pressure or something like that. But then I was doing some exercising. I was out, helping my son shoot basketball.
Yeah.
And then, I was, trying to guard him, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I, was sore for like a couple of days, and I'm thinking, man, I am out of shape if I'm not recovering well.
Yeah.
And took me longer than usual to recover. So, I had all this pain in my joints, and you notice if you're getting some unusual pain in your joints, fatigue, something like that, then you probably need to see, your primary care physician, and then you'll be referred to a good rheumatologist, or hopefully a good rheumatologist. That's what's important.
My very next question is so you go talk to your primary care physician first.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, my bad. Let me ask y'all this. I also noticed on y'all's page, y'all have been partnering with some new doctors. Now, whenever people call this helpline for you guys, do they get access to those if they're like, hey, I don't know what's going on. Can I have a professional's opinion of maybe what I should do?
Yeah. So we have a program called Partners for Patients, and it's something that we offer to our healthcare providers here, across the country, but I'll speak for Houston, to be one of our preferred partners. And that means that that they engage with the Arthritis Foundation, that they really talk to their clients and use us and encourage them to use us as a resource, and that they are, they're kind of highlighted on our website, as you probably saw, as one of our preferred physicians. And our helpline always gives they don't just say, hey, go see Dr. Smith. They give them a list of, here are the doctors in your area,
highly rated
ones, yeah, so that people have a choice, and we're not showing preferential treatment. But physician, our healthcare providers are so important to not only the arthritis community but the Arthritis Foundation, because we need them and they need us. For a variety of reasons, but mainly so that patients can get the best care and get a full rounded care, not just the physical care from their physician, but also, well-being and wellness and mental and Well,
because I'm sure some people go see doctors, maybe like, general, practitioners.
Checkups.
And they're like, well, your arthritis is there. You can, do this, and this. And I'm sure
these over-counter meds. And
But and the thing about it is like for people that are like specializing that are on y'all's website, it's like they have a specific interest, probably because maybe they suffer from it, maybe they know someone, they have loved ones, or and they just want to inform the people about how to live better.
Yeah. And I mean, it's interesting you said that, because this past week I had just an annual physical, and my regular doctor had prescribed a medication for my fibromyalgia, and over the last 6 months we increased the dosage because it just wasn't really helping, and then it wasn't helping, so I quit taking it. And she said, well, how are you still taking this medication? And I said, no, I'm not. And I said, I think it's time that I go see a rheumatologist, because while she's great, she's not an expert in she's not a specialist in what I'm dealing with. So it's really
well. How did you get started in all this?
Well, I've been in nonprofit for, I don't even want to say how long, but a long time. I just, my dad suffered from arthritis for, as long as I can remember. I have an aunt who had really severe rheumatoid arthritis that pretty much just debilitated her in her, she wasn't even that old, she's probably in her early 60s when it really started to get bad for her. And so I was just, I was kind of looking for something that I could really feel, really passionate about. And then, of course, with my own, journey with not believing that I have it. And then, okay, yes, I have it, it's something that I found.
What I think is so awesome about that testimony right there is that the fact that you denied it for so long, even though you knew it was an issue. So what that tells me is other people who may have the same thought process, you can relate to them specifically and give them insightful advice. Is like, hey, it is a good idea to go take a look at it, because if you do have it, you need to address it. If you don't have it, well, you have a different problem and need to find out what that is.
Right. And I think Miesha's got a good story about that too.
I actually do. Even though I keep, just talking about my grandmother, because I was just, just a really important person in my life. But my aunt, her daughter, she denied having arthritis for I don't know how long. And so we've been trying to get her to go to see a rheumatologist instead of just her primary care physician for years and years. And she was suffering from, inflamed joints. And we saw that it was looking like it was starting to become debilitating. And so we said, you really need to see a rheumatologist. And she was in denial. But finally, we think as a result of me being named the honoree this year, things became real. She just kind of said, maybe I should. And a few months ago, she went to see a rheumatologist for the first time. And guess what? She was diagnosed. Officially diagnosed. We all knew she had it, but because she went to see a rheumatologist, she was officially diagnosed. She's been put on the correct drug therapies now and is just doing a whole lot better. She's probably at the 180 mark now because it's just been, a short time. But, I keep telling people, if nothing else comes from this, personally, for me, this has been like the best thing to happen for me.
So that's what I was going to say. Did she reach out to you and say, hey?
Oh, yeah. The day that she came from the doctor, she thought, guess what?
So you were right.
Exactly.
You were right.
I didn't want to say, told you so, but I was this close.
You want, because then they're going to want to know more, and you don't want to be like, well, you didn't think you had,
But she's doing a whole lot better, so.
I'm impressed. Like like, this must be like really fulfilling work. Like,
It is.
It's great to help people, and
It is.
it's amazing.
I'm sure
Because
it's really
I firmly believe so many people go undiagnosed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're in pain for no reason.
and they worry about why their joints are hurting. Why does it hurt for them to go up the stairs? Why is it that it's so hard for them to get out of their chair that they've been relaxing in after work? So, so I mean, it's awesome.
I think there's a fear factor too, because it's, okay, my knee hurts. I've got some aches and pain. Oh, I probably should go to a doctor. But, what if he tells me I need surgery, or what if he tells me I have cancer, or what if he, and so there's that just instinctively, I think humans have this fear factor of finding out that bad news.
Exactly.
But the good news is that there are so many drug therapies that can help. Here I'm preaching to my own choir.
No, you're preaching from experience, and that's why it's important.
Yeah, exactly.
And another thing, our viewers haven't listened to it yet. They haven't heard you say it. So, I mean, you have a whole new platform to talk.
There you
That's
go.
right.
So if
There
you're
you go.
listening
Yes.
and you think you might need to go,
That's right.
Just go. What are some of the top? It's rheumatologists.
rheumatologist.
What are some of the good ones here in Houston for if anybody's watching? that
Well,
maybe-
I'm glad you asked, because we actually have a medical honoree, and she's actually my personal rheumatologist.
Wow.
Her name is Padma Shamata. She's located in the Katy area.
Nice.
So, but she is a very good rheumatologist.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
And the other type of doctor that can help are orthopedics, because they see so many joint injuries, and that again is where osteoarthritis starts. Is usually after a traumatic injury, or some kind of a break or a fall, or an ACL tear.
Yep.
And so our orthopedic surgeons and doctors are really, really important too.
Yeah.
And can diagnose arthritis and then get you on the right therapies as well.
My orthopedic surgeon told me, I can basically bet like you're gonna have arthritis as you age. Surgery is intense, and I tell you, like I probably already have. We're talking about this. I should honestly go look, because
It works.
severe knee pains.
There you go. It works.
Severe knee pains.
Yeah.
Just sometimes just out of random, and I know at some point I will.
Hey, don't let this man lie to you either. He still crushes it at the gym on squats.
That's
he
good.
still runs every single day.
There you go.
He's still out there working legs at the gym, and so those are, what sort of things do they tell y'all about? Like, is there any sort of like, can we do it to ourselves? Like, I mean, can you like give yourself arthritis? Because you were talking about it's genetic, but is there sometimes like, after like 55, if you don't have enough, I don't know, maybe like, vitamins or calcium, like, I don't know what it is, but is there things that it's like, okay, well, get ready.
Like Kristen was saying, she was a runner for years. So in terms of like osteo,
I definitely gave it to myself.
yeah, things like that.
Because of just running. And,
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Were you a distance runner?
No,
Sprints?
I just ran. I just ran for exercise, and just for 5 or 6 miles every day for 30 years. We'll
Wow,
do it.
that's
And
impressive.
just
That's great.
Where's those
Joints out
those
and
joints
everything,
out?
yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I need a whole knee replacement in my right knee now because of it.
Wow.
But which is another thing I'm putting off. but like Evan, to answer your question, I mean it's so like rheumatoid, those are really autoimmune diseases. So there's nothing that I did or Miesha did or people did to get it. It's just like lupus or any of those autoimmune diseases. But osteoarthritis is really typically follows some kind of a traumatic injury or wear and tear.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And aging can do it too.
Because I've heard some people talk about like there's certain things that are bad for your body, and then there's other people that are like, bull honky. I'm gonna squat until my knees are broken or something like that.
I've heard correct form squats are actually good for your knees. Like I've heard that from a lot of people.
Could y'all confirm that at all? Like weightlifting squats?
I could ask my boyfriend. He's a personal trainer.
Well,
but he's not here. So
it is inspirational too to hear, like you were saying, a good diet and correct exercise. It can help.
Yeah. So there is, we do talk with and have nutritionists as well, and so taking foods that cause inflammation out of your diet is also very helpful, like nightshades, tomatoes, things like that that grow under the ground are pretty much inflammation starters.
Are there supplements that help reduce it? Because I know my grandma just got done having knee surgery, and I was telling her, I was like, look, turmeric works.
Turmeric is awesome, and so is fish oil.
I take the omega-3s,
Omega-3s,
DHA and EPA.
Yes, those are awesome.
And it's also good for your frontal lobe. You know, I got the ADHDs and all that.
Yeah, so diet is important. Those are some things that you can do better always. You know, eating, things like salmon and and leafy greens, your spinaches, and like she said, the nightshades are not good at all for you for inflammation.
When you say nightshades, what exactly are nightshades?
Thank you, Derek.
Yeah. It's things like tomatoes, things that some like potatoes, anything that grows in the ground for sure. Wow. I know tomatoes are nightshades, and I'm not real versed on what all, but I have one of my best friends has spondylitis, which is a really, really severe form of arthritis, and she, like me, hurts all the time, but she cut out all nightshades, and I mean, we couldn't do anything. It's like, Becky, can we just go like have pasta, pizza or something? And she's like, I can't have the tomato sauce because it has
Did she see a difference? Does it help?
Yeah, it really, but it's really hard. Of course, she did it really extreme, then cut everything out, and it's really hard to maintain because it's very limiting. It's very limiting.
If you're like me and if you like to eat all that, I feel like it's limiting.
Yeah, well, she did too.
I second that. All right, I enjoy a good meal. I do. So let me ask you this. I mean, since y'all have been a part of this, what sort of struggles and obstacles have y'all experienced with the Arthritis Foundation? Have y'all been able to, has there been any setbacks for y'all?
Well, certainly COVID was a big challenge for everybody. Right before COVID started, the foundation at the national level decided that we needed to reduce staff in all the markets, closed all of our offices, so everybody works remotely now. That doesn't mean they took representation or anything away from the areas, but so we all work remotely, which is a little bit, it's a little isolating and a little challenging, but the good news about all of that is the walk is the first time in 2 years that we will have an in-person walk. So for the last 2 years, we had to do it virtually.
How does that work? Is this virtual reality walking? Is it like put on your Oculus?
Good question. Good question. It didn't work as well as in person. Let's just say that. So, but I think people are really excited to get out and to come out in person and celebrate and support, support their loved ones with arthritis. Our theme this year is Rock the Walk, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of music and a lot of rock themed areas. We'll have a rock garden and a rock wall and and really, really a lot of fun things.
And that's this right here that we were looking at, right? The Rock the Walk, and what day is it again?
May 14th. Saturday, May 14th.
What time?
It's the check-in will start around 7 o'clock in the morning. We'll have our program at 8, and then the walk kicks off about 9 o'clock. Okay.
Awesome. How long are we going? How far is the walk?
Well, that's interesting. It was a 5K, right? About 3.2 miles, whatever it is. And then there's a big festival down at towards the end of where our walk was going to turn around. And the city said, nope, you can't go down there. So we shortened the walk, but people are going to do 2 loops. So it'll probably still be around about a 5K. But we also have a 1 mile, shorter loop. And it's really, to be honest, it's not so much about walking. It's about getting out there, moving, supporting, your loved one, raising awareness, raising money. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So do people can they pledge? How do people, so it's like, I remember back in school, we used to do these little walks sometimes, and it was like, all right, I'm like,
$1 a
Mom,
mile.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
is that kind of a similar way with y'all?
Yeah, so people can go to walktocurearthritis.org/Houston and either sign up to be a walker or sign up to form a team, sign up to be on a team, or make a donation to somebody or just to the Arthritis Foundation, to the walk in general. So we encourage fundraising. We've got some great teams out there that are already doing, raising some money and getting excited about it. Yeah.
That was another thing I was going to ask. What kind of team do y'all have? I remember you said that you had about 65 chapters of this, but like here in the Houston area, what does y'all's team look like?
Yeah.
Well, I've got a team. It's called Let's Rock This. So if you join my team, you're welcome to come.
And Mallory has a team called Mallory's Paws.
Mallory's Paws and Let's Rock This.
Let's Rock This.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So tell us about the team. What's going on with it?
Well, I'm the adult honoree this year. So my family members and friends that support me are part of my team, and I'm asking anyone else that would like to join to just go out to that website. And they can find me at the walktocure.org/Houston. If you go to that website, you can find me by just clicking on the adult. You'll see me as the adult honoree.
Yeah.
So I'm asking people to come and join me.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't think, Miesha, you even know this yet, but I just found out on Friday morning that the national CEO of the Arthritis Foundation, Steve Taylor, is going to be coming to our walk this year.
Oh, wow.
And he's joining Mallory's Paws team. So
that's awesome.
yeah, so that'll be great to have Steve out here
great.
and to see what Houston can do.
So does he go to different ones all across the nation?
So
and he was like, Houston's it this year?
He's only going to 4 walks this year, and Houston is one of his picks. So we need everyone in Houston to come out and support the Walk to Cure Arthritis and come out there and show the folks from Atlanta what we can do.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's awesome. That's really awesome.
Let me ask you this: if someone, a youngster or anybody is looking to kind of join like a 501c3 or be a part of an awareness group and stuff, what are some tips or little golden nuggets you would give those people?
Well, we also have a young adult group that we would love to have the youngsters out there come and join. We just formed it, and we're looking for members, and this group is going to be doing planning some events, some service events throughout the year in the city, which is, I think, really important
Cool.
to give back, and it also builds our future generation of people who are going to be involved in this organization and keep this organization going when Miesha and I are long gone. So.
Well, maybe the legacies will live on.
That's right.
The legacies will live
so.
on. So the young adult group, you got youngsters out there planning service events. Do y'all have any sort of like maybe ideas that y'all were thinking about for that? Like, I mean, are y'all putting that on, or is that?
No, it's another group. It's a group of much younger.
I know.
Y'all are spring chickens. Quit fibbing.
You know what my grandpa always told me? He said, Derek, you're only old when you run out of the energy to make your dreams come a reality. And
I like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
y'all are still out here, turning
Absolutely.
your dreams
We're going to be
into
doing as long
reality.
as we can.
Right. You're
That's
helping
right.
people and you're doing a worthy cause. So respect.
Thanks.
100%. So, okay. So like, like y'all have the walk and everything. Would the kids probably be doing that as well? Or would it maybe be like, hey, I don't know.
Kids will be out there walking as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But so the young adults or young professionals group is actually what we're calling it. But we want them to also put on some kind of an event throughout the year. It may be another fundraising event, or it could be just a social gathering. But also, one of the things that we really need are volunteers. So we need some volunteers out at the walk to help at the water stations, to to help set up, to help tear down, to help, answer questions and direct people. And they can also register to be a volunteer on that same website.
Cool.
What are some of the other events you do besides the Rock the Walk?
Yeah, so we have the walk in May, and then in October, we've got our Bone Bash Gala, and that's October 28th.
Bone Bash?
Bone Bash, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a more formal event, but a lot of fun. It's going to be at the Post Oak Hotel this year on October 28th.
Very
and
cool.
then in December, we're still deciding on the date. We have our Jingle Bell Run, and that's a 5K timed run. And it actually was just this past December was a very, very first in-person event we've done in the last 2 years.
Yeah,
because of COVID. And we were expecting about 300 people, and we had almost 600 people come out. Yeah, it was really exciting. It was so cool to see that and just see how excited people were to be back together and to be, celebrating.
And also let's talk about the whole of the community out there who are like, no, we all know what you're going through. It's like a place of welcomeness.
It is.
For people that maybe struggle with that day to day.
Yeah. It's another piece of our community that I'd like to talk about is our Arthritis Warriors, because the Arthritis Foundation, we call them warriors. Yes. Yeah, he's got the bracelet.
I am a warrior.
And those are the people that, help support people that have arthritis, not just the patients, but, it can be taxing sometimes, on the family members. If you have someone in your household or just a friend that has arthritis, it's important. Those people who help support us are important too. My family and family members are just like me supporting my aunt. So we talk about and help those people who are arthritis warriors. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go. I'm sorry. And and that's another kind of theme of Rock the Walk this year is we did this whole kind of campaign about who is your rock, and so who is the person that supports you? Yeah. So
that's amazing. Evan's my rock.
That's awesome.
Jared's my rock. Go on.
I'm gonna be a heavy rock to carry sometimes.
Well, hey, I'm gonna be eating after this, man. So I'm gonna be heavy too. I'm gonna have to go to that walk also to burn off that calories.
Walk some of that off.
Yeah, we expect to see you guys there.
100%. 100%.
Join my team. Putting it on you now.
I don't know. We got a pretty solid team out here. Cool. So where else do y'all go to promote this kind of stuff? I remember I met y'all at Barclays, the place where with the dogs and all that. So, dogs can go on the walk.
Right.
Do y'all host other sort of events like that where y'all are like, hey, we're trying to bring awareness? What other places do y'all go to around here?
Yeah, so we had our walk kickoff at Barclays, as you mentioned, and it was great. We had a great turnout. Probably over 70 people came out, and we'd invited past participants, past people who had participated in the past and then didn't come back a couple and so we had a really great turnout. Last week we have a corporate champion, and his name is Dr. Christopher Douglas. He's the CEO of River Oaks Hospital and Clinics.
Okay.
And he invited a nice group of his colleagues throughout the community. They showed up. We had a kind of a cocktail hour and talked about the walk, and people made donations and signed up their teams as well, or joined Chris's team. And then we're going to do a team captain kind of informational social type thing coming up in a couple of weeks. We're still determining where that's going to be, so that team captains who have registered or people who are thinking about being a team captain can come and learn what they need to do and get all the kind of resources and support they need to do
awesome.
that. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and also you were talking about the informative aspect of it. And that's what I'm sure one of the biggest things that as, Arthritis Foundation, y'all want to do to the people, whether it be the doctors, whether it be like you were saying, the CBD stuff that y'all use, y'all want to be able to inform people how to live comfortably and not have it overly tear you down.
Yeah, there are over 1.2 million people in Houston who have been diagnosed with arthritis.
Moly.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
Wow.
And, obviously and unfortunately, not all of them know about the Arthritis Foundation or about the services that we provide and the things that we do. So we really want to get that word out.
Yeah. Gotcha.
On May 30th is National Doctor Day. And so we're going to be dropping off little gifts to some of our doctors, promoting the walk and thanking them for their support and for referring arthritis patients to us so that they can get the help that they need.
You got to give the doctors these Arthritis Foundation pens right here, because they work excellent over here, and green is just an awesome color. So, they can write prescriptions.
That's right.
With these pens.
With those pens,
yes. So, are those kind of your main ways of raising awareness about the foundation? Is events and tying in with doctors?
Events, events and tying in with doctors, and then some of the pharmaceutical companies help get the word out as well.
Awesome.
Especially those that obviously make arthritis drugs.
Yeah.
There's we have to be careful, and they have to be careful about not crossing any boundaries and things like that. The other thing that we do is we do patient education programs. And so they used to be all in person. They went to obviously Zoom, a webinar. But this next year we'll be doing at least 3 patient education programs. And we've got a database of over 20,000 people that we can invite to these things.
Wow.
We don't want them all to show up.
Hey, 20,000 is awesome.
Do y'all plan on doing some at the walk? Do y'all plan on having maybe some doctors there to also help explain to people? Or, is that something y'all have considered? I don't know.
Yeah, we will have a mission booth. We'll have where people can stop by and, we don't necessarily have a doctor, but that's a great idea to have a doctor at that. Yeah, I like that. Have a doctor. Always, but have a doctor at that booth. But we will have a mission booth that will have some of this, this literature and things that people and volunteers who will staff it that can answer some basic questions. Yeah. And at the very least, point them in the right direction.
So I'm looking at this book right here that y'all have. This is the health tracker right here. Tell me a little bit about this. It looks like I'm seeing week 12, month 1s. Tell me a little bit about this.
So that's a publication that we, and all of these in fact I just got this huge shipment of them because I want our doctors to have them so that they can give them out to the patients when they come. This health tracker is something that somebody with arthritis can take and use and really track their nutrition and their exercise, because those two things really are important. Not only the medications, but also exercise and nutrition.
Living a healthy lifestyle in general.
That's right. Yeah. We also last May launched an app called Vim. Yep. It's a pain app.
Called Vim?
Vim.
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 Oh, Vim. Okay.
Yeah, and it's a pain app that arthritis, anybody can download, and you can notate your pain level, using those smiley faces, and then the app, tracks that. It gives us that data. It helps us. The data gives us insights into what our programming should be, but it also gives tips and tools and resources to the patient about, well, this is a good day to do this kind of exercise if you're having this kind of pain. Be sure you're eating these kinds of, healthy
it's a pretty
choices.
Good app. I personally use it.
Yeah.
So
Do you?
I recommend. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how your experience has been. Resilience happens in the moment. Resilience happens in the moment.
I'll tell you, I'm just one of those check the boxes kind of person. So for me, it kind of keeps me on track.
Cool.
So I've been kind of just doing this, doing that. But the Vim app, like she says, if I've got this pain level, and it allows you to set reminders and things like that. So it just tells me, okay, maybe today I need to, get a few more extra steps in or something like that. So
what's funny, you mentioned about they use smiley faces on them. It just reminded me whenever I was in first and second grade, they used to use smiley faces for my behavior. Smiley, medium faces or the frowny faces. Yeah, and my mom had to make that up for me for ADHD. So maybe I should forgive her with the fibromyalgia, right? She was doing it for me. I just need to understand her back.
Let me ask you this: if someone's trying to find y'all or follow y'all, where can they go? Online or?
Yeah, so we have a Facebook page. It's Arthritis Foundation Texas, and that is actually, obviously it covers all of Texas. We have, I'm here in Houston. We have an executive director in San Antonio, and then one in Dallas. So we have the state pretty well covered.
Yeah.
The Arthritis Foundation also has a national Facebook page.
Yeah.
We're also on Instagram and what's the other one? Twitter.
What's
Yeah,
the
Twitter.
Instagram?
Oh, don't answer that.
I put them on
Do you know,
Arthritis
Miesha?
Foundation. I tagged the actual
Yeah,
Arthritis
it's actually
Foundation
at Arthritis Foundation Texas, I believe.
Yeah.
on Instagram
Yeah,
also.
yeah.
On
Okay.
Instagram.
I'll have to change.
Yeah.
I'll have to
Yeah.
motion towards moving that, but still tag Arthritis Foundation because we want this video on there.
Yeah.
Yes.
What
yes.
what about your website? What's the website?
It's arthritis.org.
Arthritis.org. Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
And then, yeah,
Good SEO.
that's good. Yeah,
Very
yeah,
smart.
yeah. But then the walk website is walktocurearthritis.org/Houston.
How do people become warriors? If they want to just become warriors and they don't
Oh, you
suffer
can
from
actually
it.
sign up at the website.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Do you get one of these also? Because I haven't taken it off.
I know, you got that at the
Green's
kickoff.
my
Yeah.
favorite.
Love that.
It's my favorite
Yeah.
color, and I'm just like, I'm gonna wear it.
I love it. Yeah, I need to order some more of those. I think we're out. I think we get them
Come
all
on the
at
walk.
Judges.
We'll get some for the
Yeah.
walk.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. We
Me
can
and
do
Evan are
that.
gonna have to come check it out.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
down. Are you down? I'm down to go hit the walk,
Yeah.
man.
Alright.
Become warriors
Love
out
it.
there.
Alright.
Earn it this time. Earn the stripes.
Yeah.
There you go.
100%.
Well, shoot, that was an amazing episode. Hour flew by, didn't it?
I did. I
You
did.
did.
Sorry.
Well,
It
thank
goes
you
like
guys
that.
for having
Yeah.
us.
Thank you so much.
Great.
This is very informative.
Yeah.
This has been
It's been
informative.
fun.
We have an event coming up. I mean, this is a huge brand that y'all are behind. And, we're just honored to have y'all on here and be able to talk about it.
Thank you.
We appreciate you guys having us. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just like
Okay.
that. And we're done, huh?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right, H-Town Happy Hour, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey,
H-Town
thanks for
happy
tuning
hour.
in.
Let's go.
See y'all next week.
All right.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Cool.